Hey friends, how we doing today? What is up on Friday? Is it Friday now? I always say what day it is, and then I ask if that's actually what it is, because mouth speaks before brain remembers that I don't really go by calendars anymore. Well. All right, bye, Bogle. Casual drive-by, a drive-by peopling. Thanks for the raid, Bogle. I hope you enjoyed your stream. Thanks for shouting him out, Matt. Glad, great to see you. Bogle's still working on Bloodstained Ritual of Night. Basically, anime fuck the furniture in this castle. The game. Yeah, it's basically that. Mr. Beach has Sean. Welcome in. Great to see all y'all. Sandstale says accurate, right? Yeah. I every time I tune into the Bloodstained Ritual of Night stream, it's just him it's just the character jumping and hacking at light fixtures for reasons unknown. That is not where I store beating hearts. That was Castlevania. Actually, I don't remember what is in the light fixtures of... what was it called again? Bloodstained. Uncleaning Furniture Anime Edition? No! No, what that one is basically the spiritual successor to Castlevania. If I remember correctly, it's from the maker of Castlevania, who doesn't have the IP name anymore. The Essence of Wall Turkey. Dude, you got it. That's right, Sans. The Essence of Wall Turkey. Kill enough living chairs and the ability to summon a chair. Ooh. Chairs are very good in a fight. There is a notable percentage of action movies where chairs are used as a weapon or as an offense or defense. Sometimes as a restraint. Sometimes chairs are the enemy. And the action hero sole mission in that scene is to get the chair off of him and break it into small little pieces. Chair is a versatile thing, which is a far cry from just putting your butt on it. Today's Mountain Dew, because I found another flavor I've never heard of. It's called Voltage. Oh boy, this one has ginseng in it, so it's like charged with raspberry citrus flavor, because raspberry is a citrus. There's no comma here. Raspberry citrus flavor, and ginseng and other natural flavors. Hey Jinbo, how you doing? Welcome in. Take a chair. Oh, my butt is in one. My butt is in a chair that's on life support. I've got hose clamps holding it up because the piston went out. Chair is also useful for recovery. Exhausting fight. Sit down for a few seconds mid-fight, right? Speaking of, from the maker of, remember Satellite Rain and how it looks like Bullfrog's... Yeah. Syndicate. Well, someone posted an interview with Bullfrog guys, and he revealed that Satellite Rain was actually ex-Syndicate devs. That makes the sense. That makes all the sense. I want to take another crack at that game with you, Chaz. I bought a level 1 Wand of Chair Summoning for On Vacation. I posted a picture in Bogle's Discord a while ago. What? Can you provide a link so we don't have to watch me scroll through Bogle's Discord? If you have one hand. I don't want you to have to go out your way. A wand of chair summoning? I love it. I don't know what that is exactly. But I love the sound of it. That sounds delightful. Alright, so here's the plan for today. We got a visual novel that I'm pretty excited about. Because, well, I really liked part 1 of it, I guess. This is like another story in the same universe, not about the same characters, allegedly. That was Along the Edge. The first visual novel I ever played, really. Definitely the first day I ever streamed, and I absolutely loved it. That was one about witches. I think this one's also about witches, too. Called Across the Grooves. Both of them have been given out for free on Amazon Prime, which is where I'm going to be playing it today. Oh, sweet. That link did not work. It opened the browser, and the browser kind of yelled at me here. Browser's like, see, open app? Okay, that did work. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. That's amazing. There were boobs above that, so I'm glad I didn't just automatically share Vogel's Discord in the stream. The wand of let me open this up in the browser here. Yes, 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 and this GIF right here. Exactly. Y'all know what's up. Okay. Let's do this. Alright, here's the wand of chair summoning. Boom! Chair. And then this GIF, which is one of the best GIF ever. This guy right here, that is a sir. I hope that in the uncut version of this GIF, he like misses the chair and falls on his butt. This is a level 2 chair. Yeah, this is the legend with the level 2 wand of chair summoning. That's fucking great. That's so good. That's so good. Fantastic. Nice work. Okay. I disabled the Steam Deck check today because my mission that I put myself on earlier today was to drain the... Yeah. I was just getting to that. I disabled it because my mission today was to absolutely drain the battery on the Steam Deck. Because it was, like, not really getting past 86% of battery. And when I went into the desktop mode, it was, like, battery health 90%. So, it did a little bit of reading, and it was like, oh yeah, drain it and full charge it. So that's what we're doing. Originally, before I went into the desktop mode and saw the battery health meter, because it's a brand new deck, right? Originally, I thought, oh, maybe the charger's like fast charging thing is broken, because it wasn't like I had it plugged in and I was playing it and it just never went above 86. So, God, I hope I don't have to RMA another one. I would cry. So I found out some interesting things about the Steam Decks in general. I posted a video in the Discord of a person that compared their, like, before release version that he got to review and the one that he bought for him and his wife, which was a quarter 3 that he just got in the last couple weeks. He did a comparison between the things that have changed between them. And I realize now would be more impressive if it was a couple years old with the battery life. So I realize now that the Steam Deck that I had from quarter 2 was a quarter 1 build. A lot has changed. It's all very subtle. You know, like if you only had a Steam Deck for like, you just tried your friends out and you tried a different one, you might not notice any of this. But the texture of the device has changed. One of the complaints that I had was that when I was playing racing games and I was constantly pressing the trigger, it would slide out of my hand. It's a little more grippy now. So like it's a different, I don't know exactly what makes it different, but it's not like sandpaper, but that's kind of what it is. But it's just a little bit rougher. It's not as smooth. And that's good. It needed it. It needed it. Something else that the guy pointed out was that, like, on the original build, like, skin cells would build up really quickly on the analog joystick, and they don't on the new one, for whatever reason. Yeah, you know, I remember that. I remember having to take a Q-tip to that, the right analog joystick specifically. Another thing that's changed is those little buttons that everybody complained about down at the bottom by the screens. I will go get it, but it's charging in the other room. They are now tactile. They changed the kind of button it was and didn't say anything. It's no longer like pushing in like pencil erasers. They have a slight click to them, so you know that you press them, and they're also raised up just a little bit. Like, they're not flush with the body anymore. They're raised up just a little bit like a normal button. So that was kind of crazy. I now realize that I had the original Delta fan, the loud one, the one people were complaining about. It didn't really bother me. But this one, on this one, it's fucking silent. I mean, it's really silent. It's, you know, the difference between like a high-pitched, you know, hiss and a whoosh. That was impressive. The other one didn't bother me. And like, I have a good range of hearing, but I don't have tinnitus or anything like that. Like, I have the hearing that I would have had when I was 13. Yeah, I haven't lost any tones. But that one, it didn't really bother me. It was always there, but like, if I was playing a game, like, I wasn't playing a game in silence, you know? So that's been super interesting. What was the other thing? Oh, yes. So this one, and I 100% agree, and this is fucked up. Because one of the things is like, oh, you know, like, is the fan making noise? I spent a lot of time, like, you know, put the fan to my face, like, oh, how hot is it? Let's blow the, you know, this hair dryer on my face, right, out the top. They have a different smell. And I agree with the video that I watched, the guy's description of what they smell like. So the Generation 1 Steam Decks smell like an auto parts store when they get hot. Okay? The Quarter 3, the one that I have now, smells like a furniture store. I'm not joking. They smell different in the exhaust port. And I don't know. There was also somebody noted that they weigh just a little bit less. The new ones are a little bit lighter. And like all of this, I watched this video as I was like, you know, messing around with it and setting it up for emulation and stuff, and I'm like, all of this is fucking accurate. This is weird. Because I thought that I didn't have the same one that, you know, the Quarter 1 people were like, everything's terrible. But I did. And honestly, like, that just kind of shows that people were overreacting a little bit. That said, you know, I'm glad I have the one that I have because it's actually better. But not in any meaningful way, right? It's little things. It was perfectly functional the way it was, except for the fan that I had that went bad, right? But... So, I don't know. I haven't actually run the command, because I haven't spent a lot of time with the keyboard hooked up. But I need to run the command. Smells the Switch, right? Yeah, what does your Switch smell like? I need to run the command to see how much memory bandwidth I have for the hard drive. Not that it makes a difference, I'm just curious now. If I have one that just came off of the assembly line. A smell review of console series, like Griffin McElroy reviews amiibos, fitting them in his mouth. Oh, God. You know, the sniff test on electronics, that's a thing that I've always done. You know, it's like trying to, like, sometimes when you leave batteries on a charger and you'll just smell this, like, you know, chemically smell in the room. But I'm always like, is this battery leaking? Is this device about to burst into flames? Hey, it's working. What's working? Vaguely smell a fresh car. You mean lithium batteries? Any batteries? Not lithium specifically on a charger. No, I mean like if you take like your rechargeable AA's and leave them on a charger for too long, they'll vent. They do vent. I became hyper aware of that after an incident with Energizer's like recharge packs for the Xbox One controllers, they fucking melted down on me. So like if I hear a chemical or smell a chemical sound, if I hear a chemical smell, oh god, why? Words are hard. If I smell a chemical smell and I know batteries are charging, like I'm hyper focused on it. But no, the double A's and stuff, like they do vent. It's just the thing that they do. I'll tell you one thing for free though. Don't put a connector on the end of a 9-volt and twist the wires together. It will explode. If you romance my chemicals. Yeah, lithium ion giving off a charged smell is not good. That's correct. Your Note 4 smelled like leather? Hey, I had a Note 4. Yes. It had a leather back to it. I think I disposed of all of them now. I was using them for cameras. The Note 4 was a good phone. The Note 4 was a great phone. That was the last Samsung I had that I liked. The actual timing? Well, no, I mean, it wasn't real leather, but it was like leather texture. I don't know what it was made. I never looked. I know that it had a leathery back to it. It was really nice. I have a vague and vivid. Oh my god. Maybe today's not the day for a visual novel. Jesus. I have a vague but vivid memory of Legos in a plastic storage bucket smell. Yes. You know what I had for my Legos? I had a lot of Legos. There was this tablecloth with drawstrings. And they'd just be this giant, like, sack of Legos. And then we'd spread it out on the floor. You know, keep all the Legos on this tablecloth. And then when we were done, just pull the drawstrings, turn it into a sack again, toss it in the fucking corner. Golf ball texture. Yeah. Yeah, it was something. I don't think I have. Yeah, I think I disposed of both of my notes at this point. They did hang around and get used for a while though. Oh no, here's one. Here's one. Yeah, it's kind of rubbery, kind of leathery. This material right here. I would almost call this dinosaur skin. This is like the dinosaur skin that you would find at a museum. Now, interestingly, it's taken this long, but this feels sticky. Like, this is starting to break down like those fucking controllers do. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like old joysticks that have this on it, get that tackiness to them. Or like the sticks on a Wii U or PlayStation 2 controller. Is there even a battery? Do I even have a battery for this one? Why is this one here? Yeah, there's no battery in that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this is made out of. Feels leathery. I just assumed it was like, I don't know, leather-like. Devulcanization? Is that what it's called? It's bullshit. That's what it is. I hate it. I hate it so much. I mean, having to like use alcohol and soap and to scrape it off of things has been awful. I spent like 3 days working it off of a fucking joystick once that I found at Goodwill that was super tacky. Because it's just like it's hard to wash off your hands too. Like I can still feel it here. Lasted a year before your motherboard slowly fried itself and fixed under warranty. A year later, the motherboard fried itself in the same way. Wow. A light dusting of cornstarch. I don't know. I don't know if I could get behind putting that on a gaming peripheral. I don't know if I could get behind that. But I understand why it would work. Right? Right? Like, it's all, you know, you've already got, like, potato chip grease all over everything, right? Yeah. Yeah, that was really hard. That was really hard. To get it off of this joystick. Just up there. It took me several days. And I had to take it completely apart so that I could, like, really fucking scrub on it in the sink. Alright. What do y'all want to do for the next half hour? Gaming headlines, new releases? Box of the day? If I come up with a box too. Pick one. I figure each of these takes about half an hour. So somebody just pick one and then we'll dive into the game. I'm basically, my plan is to come back tonight and we're gonna work on some Darkened Sky. That's my plan. After dinner. Gaming headlines. New releases. Gaming headlines was first. I'm gonna redeem Matt. Okay. There you go. You got your points back. I got you hooked up for this. I was almost late to the stream today. I ran out to the gas station to get some caffeine. It's dangerous knowing this, but I find it easier to do reading when I have caffeine. Or just in general, like, slower games are a lot easier with caffeine. So I definitely wanted to have some Mountain Dew for today's stream. I mean, everybody always wants to feel more energetic. Like, that's a thing too, right? I think we're all set up to go here. Alright, great, cool. Let's rock. News. Alright, what do we got in the news? Oh, let's get this poll out of here. We don't need that anymore. Hey, Purblind, thank you so much for the host, friend. Alright. What do we got today? Middle East Assassin's Creed game has reportedly been delayed. Okay. Ooh, the Montana expansion for American Truck Simulator is coming. I'm hoping when the stream rooms happens, I'll have a place to, like, put my steering wheel in front of a TV again. I need some American Truck Simulator back in my life. Star Wars prequel The Acolyte gets its first cast member and a former Hunger Games star. Okay. Amandla. Amandla? Here's the name. Her I do not recognize. Was that Rue? Did she play Rue? Yeah, she played Rue. Okay. You know, Hunger Games, Anybody here a fan of the Hunger Games? I'm reminded of Europe's discovery of caffeine. Plenty of scholarly types loved it for how it improved their mental faculties. We'll have to Google that, back that up later. You like the books? I hated the first 2 books. Hated them. I liked the final book a lot. A lot. The final book was like way more my speed, because it was less of like this like battle royale shit and more about like the last one was more about overthrowing the government, and I'm like, this plot is great, let's go. And then those last 2 movies were the worst movies. Like the battle royale part was better than the overthrow of the government. Like I mean, I didn't hate the first 2 books exactly, but I really did not like Katniss Everdeen. So the second she wasn't the star of it, which is what the 3rd book felt like, it felt more like everything that was going on around her than like her just being a bitch to everybody. Because she was, she was an unlikable character. But real talk, Battle Royale did it. The second movie was the best out of them. The second movie had interesting setting for sure, and it started to get momentum. But the last 2 movies should have been like the best, and I was incredibly disappointed out of them. They also made it to be continued at the wrong part, I felt. How about Battle Royale right now? What do you mean? Live action Star Wars exploring outside? Is that the Acolyte? Because yes, there's a couple of things coming. There's like, what, the High Republic or something too they're going to explore? Or they were talking about it? Kids fighting each other to death, no thank you. Yeah. Well, it felt like there was a lot of like people trying to make the Hunger Games be the next Twilight, and it kind of was in some ways, but like, yeah. Anyways, because it was a love triangle at its heart, and then there was this really interesting story happening around it, and the focus was just in the wrong place. It was so uninteresting. Like, it wasn't really a love triangle as it was Katniss Everdeen being completely indecisive, and incompassionate and not able to care for anyone around her because she was just so damn selfish all the time. The Acolyte's about a Sith in training? Alright, fine. We'll go read it. Or we'll pull it up. I'm excited to finally announce joining the Star Wars Acolyte. Honored as blah, blah, blah. Has she not done many things since the Hunger Games? Yeah, this is the High Republic era. So is this the one that they've been teasing then? Or is this another new one? I haven't seen Russian Doll. Has anybody watched that? So Leslie Headland also worked on that. Is that who's... You saw the first season of Russian Doll, you really liked it? Nice. So the High Republic is after the Old Republic? Am I catching that right? 11 should be the final season of The Walking Dead. I'm kind of excited. Be interested to see how they end it. Season 10, if it's the season I think it was pretty boring though. 5 new Gotham-based titles and shows off art. Like what, comics or... The Joker, the man who stopped laughing? Okay. Yeah, these are comics. Okay. No. Season 10, I think, is the last one I watched on Netflix. They're building to something, but... See, the other thing about The Walking Dead is that there's... Like, the main character just leaves the show in, like, season 9 or 8. And they were supposed to be in a feature film that has never happened. So I don't know if, like, they're gonna come back. Or... I don't know. PC wins the battle, Katniss survives. Did COVID kill the movie? The movie has been allegedly happening since 2015, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time. There was a spin-off series starring Daryl and Cheryl? The short white-haired lady that's always hanging around Daryl. There was a spin-off for them, but she decided she just wanted to... Carol, thank you. She decided that she just didn't want to do it suddenly. Didn't want to go. Yeah, she wanted to just chill and live wherever she was living and not have to move. So I don't know if there's still going to be a Daryl show or not. Maybe not. I think... Like, I like their relationship. It really started to get strained in the 10th season, though. Like, but like, yeah, they're pretty much the only original characters. They are the only original characters left. Oh, whoops. I guess maybe I wasn't supposed to say that. Sorry. The show has gotten long in the tooth. It's a zombie show. People die. Yeah, that's whatever happened after the helicopter, I think, was supposed to be in a movie. Spoilers for The Walking Dead, everybody dies. The humans are... Well, that's the whole thing, is that they are The Walking Dead. At least that's always been my theory. That's one of the earliest things they discover in the show is that everybody's already infected. So even if you don't get bit, you still turn into a walker, right? Which makes them dead men walking, essentially. So I've always had in my head that they were the Walking Dead. Anyways. I'm excited for a final season of The Walking Dead. I have really enjoyed that show. Sometimes it's like I have to drag myself to a new season and be like, okay, let's do it. And then at the end of every episode, it's like, let's watch the next one, let's watch the next one, let's watch the next one. Like, it feels good. It's a junk food show, right? Comfort food. It's annoying when a show gradually replaces everybody. Yeah. One of the things about The Walking Dead is when people get replaced, it's usually at the point where you're sick of them anyways. What I've gotten tired is just new people showing up. And then you just sit there for, like, you know, the first 3 episodes of a season being like, alright, who's gonna make it? Who's not? Misfits. I don't know what that is. The death walk to the end of the office. Replacing characters is what caused the death walk Oh, you're talking about what killed The Office. I agree. Steve Carell not being in The Office made it plummet. It was terrible. It was abysmal. Yeah, Steve Carell made The Office what it was. Without him, that show was nothing. I mean, I enjoyed all of it, but nobody filled that void. I mean, The Office got long in the tooth too. It needed a trim. This is an odd superhero movie about delinquents on community service getting superpower. Really? It seems to be Tales of the Walking Dead features Terry Crews. Creepy Alpha, a Terry Crews, and a ton of undead nightmares. That's the same Terry Crews, right? The full-length trailer of Tales of the Walking Dead. What is that? What is it? Is this a new show? I've never seen Fear the Walking Dead or Walking Dead New World. The first trailer for the Walking Dead spinoff is here. I haven't watched any of the spinoffs. Oh, it's got Alpha back. Alpha was a big thing in like the season 10. Did not love her character. There must... So is this... They just... dumped a whole bunch of Walking Dead news, I guess, it seems like. Well, Parker Posey's in here, too? Focus on 6 stories. Parker Posey, huh? Can't say I'm a fan of her. I didn't really care for her interpretation of Dr. Smith in that new Lost in Space. That was a hard show to watch. That one was, I don't know. That one didn't jive. I wanted it to so bad. Creed was the only good character. How unpredictable he was. Jim and Pam are awful people. They were pretty toxic. See, the thing about the original Office, the British one, is like they left Jim and Pam, or whatever their names were, like at a place where it was like we were still rooting for them, right? It's a lot of TV show news today. Hang on. Is there a way to change your skin in Stray? I've been wondering about that. Oh, modders. Well, it looks like they made Hairball, didn't they? They announced Purple Cat. You couldn't watch the original Office? Really? Well, the original Office was kind of amazing. It's amazing, Sean, how sometimes our tastes align perfectly, and other times they just can't do it. There are still forgotten 90s shooters being added to Steam. No, this is the forgotten 90s shooter. This is Chasm the Rift. Oh, I'm so excited. Blah, 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 blah. Wasn't Quake. People played Quake instead. Yep, that's Chasm the Rift. You tried watching the IT crowd recently. I couldn't do it. I mean, I had to get drugged by my fucking ears. Furiously banning Sean. I've tried watching an episode of IT crowd and I couldn't do it either. It did nothing for me. But, like, I had to get drugged to watch The Office, Happy Place, and tried watching Parks and Rec, and then it got removed from Netflix or wherever it was. It got taken somewhere else. Somebody else got the rights, and we just never finished it because we just weren't gonna get another thing. But we tried to binge as much as possible before it went away. We got about halfway through it, maybe. Parks and Rec was pretty good. I just would never seek these shows out, so I gotta get convinced to watch them. But if they don't do anything for me in 3 episodes, I'm done. Which is how I felt about Arrested Development. Scroll up, Diesel Punk Spaceships. Okay. I got you. Can Marauders dethrone Escape from Tarkov with Diesel Punk Spaceships? Oh, that's a cool image. Let's get the full article here. Well, I used to have one of these masks, actually, this exact mask. The kind that was used for the Combine in Half-Life 2. I want to see the spaceships. Hey, Dragon Jim. I'm actually wearing your shirt today. There it is. Ta-da! When I bought my caffeine, the lady at the counter, like, I don't really tell people that I'm a streamer or I hang out on Twitch, like, if I'm at the gas station or whatever, and this lady, she's like looking at the shirt, and she's like, "What's a Dragon Gem?" And I said, "Exactly," and walked out the door. And just fucking left. I was like, "Yep, never coming back to this gas station. We burned this bridge. It's done. It's over." It's one of a kind. You don't use Streamlabs anymore? Yeah, I can't stand up at it. It's a little bit short for me. It's shrunk up on me. Hey, Rush. Welcome in, my friend. How are you doing? Things are good. Things are good. I want to see pictures of the spaceships in this. Don't y'all? Is this it? Recommend a video for you. I don't know what this video is, but it's a cool looking spaceship. I don't have sexy midriffs right now. That's the thing. I need my shirts a little bit longer. I don't think this is the game. I think it's like Eve or something. What is this? Oh no, is this it? Okay. Oh. I don't have sound, so you guys don't know if it sounds cool. Could this be what we were looking for from Star Citizen? Your mom's better? Hell yes. That's what we want to hear. Video's super loud. Okay. Space video did look cool. Where do we find this? Where is Marauders? Did somebody share this one a couple months back? The word Marauders is ringing a bell. Marauders game. Marauders on Steam. You can add it to the wish list. Here, I'll pop a link if y'all want to look at it. I'm not going to change scenes. There you go. There's Marauders on Steam. Team 17. Interesting. Small impact games. What else did they work on? Hard to tell because Team 17 has a publisher page. This one's just marked as coming soon. Added it to the wish list. As a space pirate, work solo or in a squad of up to 3 other players, navigate hostile battleground, hunt for loot, craft new weapons and gear, salvage what you'll need to survive. Tactical first-person shooter, multiplayer looter shooter. Okay. It looks cool. I would give this a try with somebody. It looks pretty. Okay. What else we got? That's the dev page. What else have they worked on? The do's and don'ts for gaming in a never-ending heat wave. Okay. I know this is going to be like 1,000 paragraphs long. You're hot. Your PC fans are worrying. The earth is slowly melting. Care for a game of Fortnite? Alright. I want to see the do's and don'ts. I want a concise list. Don't deny our reality. Climate change is real, it's scary, and a real shame. Because it's such an old and large problem, it intimidates you into wanting to cower. But accepting any unpleasantness helps you slightly more in control and less anxious. Acceptance is actionable fear on its own. It's not. What? Okay. Do give yourself a break. Is this about dealing with global warming or playing video games in hot weather? Okay. Don't forget a towel and maybe a spray bottle. Is this a joke article? Do keep it light. Cotton, linen, microdermal, and rayon are some breathable, absorbent. Okay. Don't get so caffeinated. Noxious vats of bottle rocket exhaust to tired gamers? Oh boy. Do bask in water's glory. The unnatural blue of G Fuel can or frosty glass of Caraco is admittedly enticing. Oh boy. Don't buy things unless you need them. Okay. Do enjoy what you have for as long as you have it. Alright, Kotaku. Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna RMA another Steam Deck, thanks. Confusing mood, possibly Marauders is the first game they've done 100% solo. Really? This Game Boy inspired handheld is a budget answer to the modern day retro gaming. Okay. Saints Row PC tech preview. The reboot shines on PC and hints towards PS5 and Series X features. PC Gamer would like you to know about the best webcams of 2022. Also the best AIO coolers. What's AIO? I don't know what AIO stands for. Is that a brand? Or is that a type? All in one? So like a sealed unit? Maybe it'll tell me. Yeah, it might be all in one. You think, MacLad? Every time we do the news, I just get mad at PC Gamer. for that. Oh, coolers are for liquid cooling. Is regular complaint. Yeah. Gorgeous gaming monitor, so glossy I can see myself really liking it. Oh, PC Gamer, you're garbage. What a fucking title. Oh no. I would donate 1 Twitch bit to that one. Multiversus? Interesting word. Action RPG Elm Knight, maybe 30 years old, but it still feels like it's from the future. Okay. That's some nice pixel art there. It's for PC 898, huh? 1992. I want to see some screenshots. That's what I want. Oh, look at this though. That's nice, right? Hey, so you remember that game? Oh god, what was it called? The one that looked like Star Fox and some other things? I bought that last night on the Steam Deck. And it's really fucking good. Like, I really enjoyed the first level up to the first boss fight. So this game doesn't look like it probably didn't get an American release. I don't actually know what the PC 98 is. I know it's some kind of console. Like the MSX or something like that. Or the Amiga maybe. But I don't think I've ever seen one. Action RPG Elm Knight. I need to take some notes. I've got like the perfect emulation machine. I could start checking some of these out, you know? You watched the Star Fox clone trailer after you bought it. The hover bike looked cool too. Yeah. Really, really excited to sit down and play that one. Where's my post-it note? Sticky notes. Oh, that was close. PC was this 98? Elm. Tell us more about Emulation Machine. You talking about the Steam Deck? It's really fucking nice. I mean, what else do you want to know? So, the Steam Deck can do up to PlayStation 3 now. It can play a PlayStation 3 game at 30 FPS. It's Elm Knight, you little bastard. Now get in my tree pellet. What? What? You never gotten RPC S3? Yeah, I haven't tried it myself, but I've seen video of, well, Persona, like the Persona everybody gets hyped over, running on the Steam Deck at 30 FPS. It looks great. I don't remember that game. In Paul Blart Mall Cop. Oh god. So yeah, looks pretty. I'll check it out. My RetroPie is going to be making its way back to me. Seek's had it for a while. I don't remember when. I must have been when I went to visit him in November. I loaned him that Raspberry Pi. And then the one in the little SNES case. So here's exciting news. This is really exciting news. My wife is getting a computer upgrade this weekend. One of Seek's older PCs from about like 2014, 2015 is he's got some friends that are visiting other friends in Portland, and they're bringing the computer up with them, so we don't have to pay for shipping. So I'm going to meet them this weekend. So I'm going to be giving Sean Beanland one of my graphics cards because he's RMAing his. There's a computer coming up from Seek that's an upgrade for my wife. And then I'm going to take her old computer. Get ready for this. Get ready for this circle. I'm going to take her old computer. Well, so the one Seeks doesn't have a graphics card. So I'm going to put Sean Beanland's graphics card, his old hand-me-down, his 1070, into my wife's new computer from Seek. Okay, and I'm going to give Sean my 1080, my backup card, to borrow while his 3070 or 3060 is getting RMA'd. Then I'm going to take my wife's old computer, take it out of that Phantom NZXT case, throw that out the fucking door. That thing can tumble down the road, I don't give a fuck. I hate that case. Okay, alright. So I'm going to take all that hardware, and I'm going to put it in Sean's old Monolith case. And I don't know what I'm going to do with that computer yet. So that's a computer that got built around 2011, 2012. So I need to go digging around on what's inside of it. But I might be able to make like an uber powerful Windows XP machine. Or just a really good like Linux Media Vault. Which one was the one where werewolves attack? Oh no. The darker, more violent approach. Call Paul Blart Mark 14 Mall Cop. Oh, that's good. I'm gonna watch those movies someday. Mall Cop 13, Paul Blart Wolf Cop. So yeah, there's gonna be some computer shuffling going on in the near future. Pretty excited about it. Because probably like 2 or 3 years ago. Wow. Okay. I think I just had a little bit of like caffeinated sugar water go beside of filling. That was unpleasant. Very unpleasant. Yeah, like 2 or 3 years ago, Sean gave me his old case when he built a new computer. And it's been in my closet waiting for a project. Alright, let's dive into today's game. You know what? You don't have to bring in the 1080 tomorrow. Are you sure? Alright. I mean, it's your call. Just let me know for sure tomorrow morning. So, because I haven't actually dug it out of the closet yet. It's in there somewhere. But you're more than welcome to use it while you wait. What is Phoenix Rising? A headline, a Polynesian themed spinoff. Okay, hang on. This one here? Alright. Immortals Phoenix Rising. Oh, this is a Ubisoft game? Came out last year? Hey, Daniel Gamer, welcome in. Also, Skep. It's great to see you. Welcome in. I'm bum-puzzled. I don't think I directly said hi. I acknowledged your presence, though. Alright, one more news article, and then we're going to dive into today's game. Less of a copy of Breath of the Wild, okay? Full-blown sequel. Yeah, it is Ubisoft. Greek mythology-themed open-world adventure, Immortals Phoenix Rising. New claims have surfaced suggesting it may be, in fact, a spin-off rather than a full-blown sequel. To what? What is it a spin-off to? I wonder if the Polynesian themed game is a spin. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Reportedly getting a Polynesian themed spin-off. Okay, that's cool. I get it now. I totally misread that. I was thinking, I wonder if Beyond Good and Evil 2 is like completely canceled at this point. There has been no news about that. Not anywhere anywhere I've seen. All right. Let's do this. And that, and this, and unplug this. And just put that right in there. Get this game rolling. People seem to like it for about a day, then never spoke of it again. Yeah, that's why I was like, as I said, like it came out like a couple years ago or whatever. And then I was like, well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it never came out because I never ever heard anything about it. That could beat Nintendo to Breath of the Wild of Wind Waker. Chaz says. All right, there's game mode. Now we are talking. Okay. Let's dive into Across the Groups. Genshin Impact. But every time you look it up, it's just a bunch of anime girls or something. Genshin Impact seems really cool, though. It also looks like you could get lost in the grind for all of time. Lilith Looms, for example, she's now a Twitch partner. A French streamer that just really got after Genshin Impact. She's actually got like a partnership with the Genshin devs now. For some of their events and promo or whatever. Like, I don't know exactly what the deal is she has with them, but it's all really exciting. Like, she's been killing it on Twitch from Genshin Impact. There are a lot of people out there that watch that. Okay. I am going to run to the restroom really quick so that I don't have to do it in 5 minutes. So I'll be back in 1 minute. Anime girls and boys. It's definitely anime. There's boys too. It's true. All right, I will be right back. Sorry, catching up with chat real quick here. If you liked weapons degrading on you, play Far Cry 2. I'm gearing up to play Far Cry 2. I just haven't decided whether I want to stream it or if I just want to play it. Twice I've started that game and I got about halfway through it, and about the point where they pick you up and put you on the second map, I just stop for whatever reason. I just become slightly uninterested in the game and play something else. I think if I went to stream it, I would push myself to finish it. Then I would get locked in, you know what I mean? All right, let's dive in. Text size. Let's go large. Why not? That way we can all read it. Automatic text advance during songs. Volume off. Why was the volume off by default? Crank it up to 11. How, what's the volume mix like? Can you guys hear me? I'm gonna be reading all of this, so I guess that's an important thing. Drop it to 7? You got it, boss. Alright, how we feel about that? Is that pretty good? Chef's kiss. All right, let's rock. I'm so excited for this. I hope I like this as much as I like the other ones. This is like the second visual novel that I've streamed. I like the other one so much that I came right back to finish it after dinner on a night that I hadn't planned on streaming. Or I did it like the next day or whatever it was, but we wrapped it up. And the thing about Along the Edge is that I could play it again and make different choices, because these are choose your own adventure books, right? All right, here we go. Across the Grooves is an interactive graphic novel. During your adventure, you will be asked to make choices that will define how your story progresses. When one of your decisions, this is a beautiful background, by the way. I love this. It looks amazing. When one of your decisions influences the personality of the main character, Alice, 1 or 2 symbols will light up in the top of the screen. Okay, 1 or 2, sure. The spiral. The lightning. The flower. They all have different sounds, too, apparently. And skull. And across the grooves, some scenes are sung. When this is the case, the lyrics will be displayed in special dialogue bubbles like this one. I'm not gonna sing. Of course, you can keep reading at your own rhythm, but if you want to hear the full song, you'll have to adjust your reading speed to the rhythm of the lyrics. Really? Okay. And across the groove, your progress is saved automatically. You won't be able to change decisions you've made. However, the sum of your choices always leads to different scenarios. It's impossible to lose in Across the Grooves. Choose wisely. So, alright, this is John Baptiste. Alice. The interphone buzzes again as I'm putting on my blouse. Alice, can you get that, please? So these aren't hidden item games. They're not point-and-click adventure games. There's just the background so we can enjoy it. We don't have to go hunting for things. So this is Alice here. At this time in the morning, it's probably a delivery. I wonder what Jean-Baptiste has ordered this time. Like to answer the phone or send Jean-Baptiste? Well, why don't we answer the phone? We're already nosy. We want to know everything, right? I quickly finished dressing and hurried to answer the interphone. The delivery man. Oh, this is so this isn't the telephone. This is like their security gate, like buzz box. The delivery man, who I thank for his patience, tells me in a toneless voice that yes, there is a package for me. A few minutes later, I'm back in my kitchen. I've made myself a coffee. With a sense of foreboding, I look at the flat, square package which dominates the kitchen table. Jean-Baptiste comes into the kitchen, absently buttoning his shirt. I think we can all relate to that. I feel like I've seen this exact poster in Target before. He jerks his head towards the package and peers at me. What's that? I think it's a vinyl record. So this is literally my house. This is literally like how a conversation goes down at my house. Like when I was buying a ton of vinyl. The shape of the package is so distinctive that my guess is almost certainty. And the handwriting leaves me no possible doubt. You know, actually, hang on. Quick sidestep on this. I got a record from Prague. That got hung up at the post office. I had to go pick it up there. And the guy looks at me like, "Oh, yeah, did you get a I'm so weird in public sometimes. When people like make assumptions about me, I fire it right back pretty bad. Like I did earlier with the Dragon Gym shirt at the gas station. So he's like, you collect vinyls? And I'm like, this guy has my address. We don't need to talk about this like multi-$100 vinyl. And I was like, I collect calendars of lighthouses. And walked out. Oh, man. It's like, no, we're not going to talk about my hobby here. You're just the guy that works at USPS. I collect lighthouse calendars and things that have zero value. Havok out. I recognize the hesitant, disjointed handwriting of Ulysses, a record store owner with whom I shared several years of my life before I met Jean-Baptiste, a little over 3 years ago. So is this an ex-boyfriend then? As I had no news from Ulysses since the night we split up, getting a package from him is unexpected. To say the least. Oh my god, okay. Sorry, it is story time today. So I get a message from the bass player in my band one day. It's like, Maddie, somebody dropped off a cake at my house for you or something. I don't know. And it was the weirdest fucking thing. But like apparently before my ex-wife like totally split town, she threw all of like my birth certificate and like all these other documents that she had like misplaced or whatever into like a cake like aluminum foil thing in a bag and just like tossed it on Lee's porch or some shit. I just get this text message of like somebody left a cake at my house for you. All right, no more stories. We're getting on with the game. Jean-Baptiste gives me a quizzical stare. Tell him the truth, make something up. Tell him the truth. I think it was Ulysses who sent it to me. Your ex? Yeah, I'm just as surprised as you are. I swear I haven't been in contact with him since we broke up. Jean-Baptiste moves closer and strokes his fingers gently through my hair. You should open it. Maybe there's a note, an explanation. You demand more Foo Fighter stories? I can neither confirm nor deny that I'm Dave Grohl in hiding. He was part of your life for a long time, and you were part of his. I guess if he's decided to contact you now, it's something important. I like this guy. They seem, at this point, to have a functional relationship where things happen before and after each other. You're right. I've got to run. My father has some big Chinese client coming to the castle at lunchtime. I have to organize the meeting with the cellar master. He plants a quick kiss on my lips. Shall we meet up at the brasserie this evening? What's a brasserie? I might finish late. I remember that we planned dinner this evening with my brother and sister-in-law. Yes, okay, let's meet there. It's easier. I wait, listening to his footsteps go down the stairs and fade before I return to the kitchen to open the package. Yeah, sure, I'll bet. No more stories. Sorry, I missed that. It's a restaurant? Okay, nice. I need a little privacy to deal with the intrusion of this ghost from my past. That's not how I would have packaged that. A brasserie supports your food. What kind of food do you get from a brasserie? Is it like those almond mound cakes? Oh no. I grab a large chef's knife from the worktop and slide it along the fold, cleanly slicing the seals of the brown packing tape. Inside there's a record, 45, a 7-inch as the English calls them. It's protected by a news sleeve, a white card without anything written that could give me some idea of what's actually pressed into the grooves. And photoshopped in, exactly. I never did finish that playthrough of System Shock. I should do that at some point. Knowing Ulysses' passion for rare records is probably a white label, a test pressing. Sent to the record company by the factory to check the track order and general sound quality before mass producing the records. 19% blart with. I carefully slide the record out of its jacket. There's no label in the middle to tell me more of its contents. What I suppose to be the A side is cut into a single piece, which leaves one to suppose that it's a 45. As for the B side, it's bare of any grooves. The black shiny surface of the record seems to reflect my confusion back at me. Why? And particularly, why now? It's been more than 3 years since Ulysses vanished from my life. 3 years without a word. What could have driven him to send me a record now without the least explanation? I check the clock on the wall above the door. I still have about 15 minutes before I need to leave for the office, which leaves me plenty of time to listen to the record, which can't last more than about 5 minutes, maybe 7, 8 maximum. I pick up the package, put it in the wastebasket, and take a moment to inspect it again. Checking that there's no note or anything hidden in a fold. Dude, I'm super into this. Like, what's on the record? Why isn't there a note? What's happening? Blart weight for mass. Blart metrics measurements? Oh no. Nothing. And no return address either. The postmark tells me that the parcel was posted from Paris. The 10th arrondissement. I have no idea what that means. I take the record, then hesitate again. Do I really want to revisit the past now, before work? Or would it be better to wait till this evening? Ah, it'll drive her insane. All day? That I would go insane. The cubic blart. Let's listen to the record. I decide not. This can't wait. In any case, if I don't listen to the record now, I won't be able to think of anything else all day. I go into the living room. The hi-fi has been relegated to a corner of the room behind the couch. As I lift the cover of the turntable, dust floats up into the room. Jean-Baptiste prefers the background noise of the TV, so naturally I've stopped listening to music since we moved in together. I like this picture. I think this is the one that's like the cover art. I plug in the headphones and put them over my ears. So do we want to try to have this automatic text advance during the songs? We can try it. I don't know if it's going to be relegate is one of those words that we only use in an idiom and nowhere else. Pretty much. We're going to try the automatic text advance to see where that gets us. If it's too fast, I'll go back. Oh, no. Lo-fi beats to read a story to... Yeah, I'm into this. Let me know if I need to turn it up one click. The night is upon me. A dark alley of cobblestone.
The night is upon me.
I'm not going to have to read it. We get just to listen.
A dark alley of cobblestone, glittering in the drizzling rain. I take the last turn on my cigarette. A door opens, a door opens. One pulls out through a crack, a distant drum beat rolls louder. A thunderstorm, you look at me, inviting me in.
We get to choose our own adventure in the song, too.
I follow you inside to draws my pain, in this sea of others together. But you're tearing me apart. I'm shrinking, you're the one who grows distant. But it's me who's shrinking. I'm becoming someone else in your
For the next verse.
absence. Already apart, even in your presence.
Ulysses? Also, her hair changed. Lo-fi reading stream when? We're doing it right now. He turns and gazes at me sadly. Wait, is Ulysses Artyom Havok? I remember this evening perfectly. This is the day I met Jean-Baptiste. And this is the day Ulysses and I said goodbye. We'd broken up a week earlier, but we had tickets for this concert. I told myself I didn't want to miss out, that I could handle it, the two of us sharing the same space for just a couple hours. Big mistake. I hadn't anticipated the wrench I would feel in my heart when I saw it. Yes? I just came to see if you were okay. Sorry? Yeah, I'm sorry too. Ulysses lowers his eyes remorsefully. I'm gonna go. This was a bad idea. I shouldn't have come here tonight. He goes out the door. He goes out of the door and moves away. For a moment I faltered. Perhaps I should let him go, as he does in my memories. I should push my way to the bar, order a double whiskey, and let Jean-Baptiste buy it for me. Then go for coffee with him a few days later. Mine? Never. Havok's? Now. What? Yes, exactly. Ulysses! He stops and looks at me startled. In a few strides, I catch up with him. What a strange dream. Why did you send me the record? A record? I didn't send you a record. Yes. Yes, you did. It arrived this morning. White sleeve, no label? Does that ring a bell? Ulysses looks terrified. You weren't supposed to listen to it. Listen, Alice. You have to go back to the bar. You have to do everything like the first time, like in your memory. There may still be time to avoid disaster. What disaster? Oh, we got a lightning bolt. What disaster? Reading chat in reverse order. You know I do that, right? That's how ADD works. Just whatever. Just whatever. I can't focus on things in the proper order. Just like I focus on one thing, no matter its place in all of the chat, and then I have to like figure out what direction I'm going from there to give it context, while trying to decide if it was a response to something I said or not. You can change the past like butterfly effect. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Chaz. That's what I'm thinking. Ulysses, please tell me. I need to understand. Everything I've done, I did for you. Trust me, Alice. I promise you don't want to know more. Around us, the world's beginning to break apart. It's too late. I hear rhythm far away. It rushes towards me like a galloping horse. I am engulfed by the music once more. I need to know what this does. Oh, this is the log and the...
You're the one who grows this sad. But it's me who's shrinking. I'm becoming someone else in your absence. Breathing in, breathing out. The variations of me, I tear myself apart. I'm shrinking, I stretch my wings out. I'm someone else, and then I myself again.
Chapter 1. I love the art in this. It's so good. Bordeaux. I stay where I am. Sat by the record player, the stylus circling the central groove. An unceasing hiss in my ears. Did I fall asleep? What happened? I take off the headphones and replace the tone arm where it on its rest. I try to get my thoughts in order. I haven't thought of Ulysses in months. I never understood why we broke up. Our relationship worked. Little by little, Ulysses became distant. I threw myself into my studies. I probably neglected him. Our twin orbits diverged. And one day, he was gone from my life. Should I have fought? Should I have tried to save what we built together? Would it have changed anything? I met Jean-Baptiste. He was charming. It was easy. Then I learned from Mark that Ulysses left Bordeaux. Life went on. I finished my studies. I found a job at a bank. We moved in together, Jean and I. I'm just gonna say Jean. Something about having to say Jean-Baptiste every time is like it's killing me on the inside. I don't know why. It does not flow off of my American tongue. We quickly settled into a routine. Weeks, months, years passed without me really noticing. Is it truly happiness, or is it only comfortable status quo I've never had the courage to challenge? I have a strange sensation, as if it's suddenly woken from a long sleep, a sleep that had lasted for years. I check the time, 9:35. I'm gonna be late if I don't leave right now. I put on a coat and set off for the short walk between the apartment and the branch office of the bank where I work. I go into the bank. I say hi to Martine I say hi to Martine on the counter. Then I shut myself in my office. I have a stack of files to deal with, but I can't concentrate. I stop at the apartment after work to take a shower and change. Then I hop on the tram to join Marie, Robin, and Jean at the restaurant. I open the door to the brasserie and plunge into the warm bug. Bug? The hubbub punctuated by the gurgling of the espresso machine. Jean loves this place. It's just under his old apartment. Plus, Marie and Robin don't live far away. They just had a baby, and evening out from time to time is like a breath of fresh air to them. I pass the bar and say hi to Michael, the owner. He seems surprised to see me, but before I can kiss him hello, he's called away for an order from the other side of the counter. At the end of the room, Robin is waving to me. I sit down opposite of him. At the end of the table, there's a pram. Robin, Marie's gone out to take a phone call. Is everything all right? Oh, yes. You know, I'm guessing it's more problems with the christening. If I had any idea what kind of nightmare it was going to be, I'd have never let that priest get his claws in my progeny's spiritual life. It's pointless, but it makes Marie happy. Boy, we're going lightning bolt, I guess. It makes Marie happy. And I think it's a good deed. They need fresh meat for their quotas. Oh no. I really get the feeling that people are getting more worked up about this than they do about weddings. And yet, you're not married, so we couldn't really say that you've got a reliable point of reference. Robin laughs. That's true, but I promise you I'm immune after all this nonsense. I lean over the pram. What the hell's a pram? Anybody know what a pram is? Oh, it's like a baby carriage. Okay, context, it's important. The baby is fast asleep. And how's my favorite little niece? You can see she enjoys the hustle and bustle, just like her auntie. I feel a hand on my shoulder. It's Marie. She's back. Phone in hand. We hug. Sorry, I had to take a call for work. Thank you. They've been leaving all the files on my desk for me to deal with after maternity leave. You'd think they'd just been leaving all the... Why did I say thank you? Something happened there where I thought like you'd think was thank you in my head. Just didn't work. So how's things going with you? Let's talk about the record. Let's dive in head first. I breathe out a sigh. Well, you're not gonna believe this, but I got a package from Ulysses this morning. Ulysses, your ex? Himself. That's surprising, isn't it? You broke up, what, 3 years ago? What was in the package? A record, a vinyl. That's all? No note, nothing? No, just the record without any explanation. Ah, yes, I remember the record store guy, right? I don't know why you guys broke up. He was really cool. Murray glares at Robin, who buries himself back into the wine list. So no, nothing. It's odd, isn't it? Yes. Period. What was on the record? Did you listen to it? Yeah, a 45, no label, no idea the artist or the group. I try to remember the music itself, but I can't seem to recall the melody. The sound was fairly pop, pretty modern. A whole load of memories came flooding back when I listened to it. It was really weird. I really felt like I was actually reliving the past, the night when Ulysses and I broke up. Still, it's a little out of order for him. Hey, Loyal, welcome in. How you doing, my friend? Still, it's a little out of order for him. No news for years, and he sends you a record now without any explanation? Hey, my day's going really good. Really good. Playing a spiritual successor to a visual novel that I really liked. I mean, playing is pretty loose for what we're doing, but more like I'm reading you guys a bedtime story, so I won't be mad if anybody falls asleep. How's yours going, Loyal? You got anything exciting this weekend? Anybody in chat? Y'all got exciting weekends coming up? I'm pretty pumped about tomorrow myself, because me and Sean Beanland get to hang out. At a little pizza pub thing for brunch. Alright, Marie. So anyways, what are you gonna do? I'm going to investigate. I really need to find out what's going on. If Ulysses decided to send me a record after 3 years of radio silence, it must be important to him. Some yummy info. Yes, exactly. You're in 2 charity games this weekend, Dragon Gem? That's awesome. Very cool. Those are, you're doing, so it's the D&D, right? You're doing it with the group? Is there one on Saturday and Sunday? Oh, man. My muscles are still kind of messed up from that medication. Weird. I was gonna try to get like a haircut this weekend or Friday or today, and I never called. Never called the lady. Sorry, I just looked over at my camera and I was like, oh my god, your hair's getting pretty long. Need a trim. Okay. Alice. I think I'll start by going around to his record store tomorrow on the way back from the office. But I thought Ulysses left Bordeaux. He did, but I think that Mark, his former partner, is the most likely person to know what happened to him. Marie nods. Good thinking. Listen, I don't want to hurry you, but can we order? Robin, shut the fuck up. I already don't like this guy. So we can get home before the next feed time? Are we gonna wait for Jean? Marie and Robin look at me bemused. Jean-Baptiste? Yeah, he was seeing some Chinese customers today, but he shouldn't be much longer. Alice, who's Jean-Baptiste? Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. I don't know what to say. How can they not know who Jean is? Jean, my boyfriend. You know, we had dinner with you quite a few times. We spent a weekend together this summer. On the bay, don't you remember? Marie looks worried. Robin is glancing around nervously. I let out a shaky laugh. You're kidding me, right? Are you sure you're okay, Alice? This summer, on the bay, you were with Arthur. You two broke up 3 weeks after. You never introduced us to any Jean. Robin nods in agreement. I don't understand. I don't remember any Arthur. My head is spinning. Stand up. Spots dance in front of my eyes. Robin rushes to catch me by the shoulder. Alice, you're scared. Are you alright? Yeah, I need some air. I turn in a hurry through the brasserie. Behind me, I hear Marie say to Robin, let her go. We'll call her tomorrow. Right around when you go down. And then I'm on the street. The cool night air helps me collect my thoughts. A little further away on the sidewalk, I made out the familiar shape of Jean. He's smoking a cigarette. The Jean that I know stopped smoking. We stopped together. I fumble in my coat pocket and pull out a packet of Galoose, half empty. It shouldn't be there. There's no rational explanation why I should have a pack of smokes on me. Unless... Jean has seen me. He smiles at me. I can't stay here staring at him from a distance. I have to take a decision, but I don't know if I can turn away or go and talk to him. I hesitate. Alright, chat. I'm gonna start needing your input. What should we do? What do you want to do here? Apparently, we've rewritten our reality. And we are not living with this guy. We're not dating. I would say throw up a vote, but honestly, like, the first person that says something is what we'll do. Time travel is pain is not one of the choices. I think we're compelled to go nearer and try to figure this out, right? That's what we're doing. Alright, so we got this first symbol here, whatever it was. I go nearer. Jean rummages through his pockets and holds out a lighter to me. I notice that I still have a packet of cigarettes in my hand. Her hair's different. Or, well, maybe it was pulled back earlier. I take one out and let him light it for me. Are you alright? The way he looks at me, his manners, they aren't those of someone who's shared several years of my life. He doesn't remember us either. It's at this precise moment that something was just an impression, a suspicion, a kind of out there thought which couldn't actually happen in real life strikes me full force. You never end up where you were. Yeah. Time travel's cool. This man who I was making plans for the future with just yesterday. Oh, hater. Hey, Mass Gamer, welcome in. Is watching me indifferently, mildly disturbed by my distress. I'm a stranger to him, and it hurts badly. And now there he is, right in front of me, waiting for me to answer. Try to have a conversation or go away. Let's just be awkward here. Yes, fine, thanks. Is that... Is that how should I say it? My day's been emotional. I get exactly what you mean. We're on a slippery slope, which I decide to not continue down. I don't know how I'll react if he asks me what's happened in my day. And I know he's about to do just that. Haven't we met already? Your face looks familiar. I don't think so. I'd remember you. Do you often drink here? He nods towards the window behind me. Maybe you saw me in there sometime. I come here a lot. I don't know. Maybe. Probably. Jean drops his cigarette ends and crushes it under his foot. Sorry, but I have to go. Do you want me to ask Michael to get you a taxi? No, that's kind, but it's fine. He starts back at the bistro, then changes his mind and returns to pick up his cigarette end. He takes the chance to look at me again, as if I was searching for an elusive memory or a word at the tip of his tongue. He flashes me an embarrassed smile accompanied by a good night before he disappears into the bistro. I stay where I am in the cold, dragging my cigarette with my heart in my shoes. Then I turn away and head up the street towards the tram stop. The first thing I do when I get back to the apartment is bolt the door behind me. I had a feeling of being followed on my way home. I'm probably being a bit paranoid, but well, who knows? Someone breaking into my home during the night would have really just topped my day off. The second thing I do is go up to the bedroom and open Jean's side of the closet. I'm not particularly surprised to find it full of my old clothes. Things I thought I got rid of. This art style is amazing. Highly recommend. This is like the spiritual successor to a game called Along the Edge. That I absolutely loved. That one was about witchcraft. This one seems to be about music that causes time travel and rewriting of history. So the story we're in right now is we were living with the guy that we were just talking to. That was our fiance, boyfriend, or whatever. And then an ex, or a record shows up, and we think it's from our ex-boyfriend. We listen to it. And it's like a choose-your-own-adventure song. And it rewrote history. So that guy doesn't know who we are. Nobody knows that we were dating. And we're trying to figure out what's going on. That's where we're at right now. I go out on the balcony and light a cigarette. I stand musing. I look at the apartment and I'm aware of a small number of differences that I hadn't noticed earlier in the day. Nostalgia-fueled time travel, yeah. There's no phone charger or small coins in the bowl in the dresser in the hall. The old game console, which I had never been plugged back in since the move, is no longer in its shelf under the TV. The big photo of New York has been, that's the one from Target, right? The big photo from New York has been replaced by a tattered old poster of a regional rock festival. The record, though, still dominates the kitchen table, exactly where I left it earlier in the day. She leave it on the turntable? Interesting. It seems impossible, but it's as if by putting a 45 on the turntable, I truly returned to my past. As if by choosing to run after Ulysses that night we broke up, I hadn't met Jean-Baptiste at the bar. As if I'd returned to the present where I'm single, where Jean and I never met. I could try to listen to the record again and get to the bottom of this, but I'm afraid of making things worse. If it really does have the power to change my past, it could have catastrophic consequences on my life. What do they call that? The butterfly effect? I hope Mark will help me clear all this up. At least he should be able to tell me what happened to Ulysses. Is that name Ulysses, or is it Ulysse? Am I saying that wrong? I grab my phone and I leave an apologetic message for Marie, assuring her that everything's fine, and I'm sorry I slipped away so early. Then I crush the cigarette and crawl under my covers in hope of sleep. Saint Michael. Saint Michelle. Something. Words are hard. Names are harder. Is that Ulysse or Ulysses? I realize that I'm hardly set foot in the district since I split up with Ulysse. I think it's Ulysse. The store that Mark shared with Ulysse is in a little semi-pedestrian street on a corner. I used to come by here every day after my college classes a few years ago. When I push the door open, I am assailed by the characteristic odor of old records, similar yet distinct from the smell of old books. The big speaker fixed to the ceiling blares out strident fuzz guitar solos at a volume theoretically much too high for a business establishment. I'd be incapable of saying whether it was some obscure 70s garage or post-rock movement contemporaries trying to intimidate their elders. Mark is reading the sleeve with interest. Only when I reach the other side of the counter does he look up. Does he deign to look up. He smiles at me, then murmurs something incomprehensible in the dim. I gesture to him. I can't hear anything, pointing at my ears. He flaps his hands at me to wait, and he turns the volume on his amp down. Something better adapted for conversation. I was saying they're a local band. Pretty powerful, huh? I've signed them for an EP. I just got the pressing. This was, so consignment is a cool thing in record stores. My band did something really neat. When we released our first album, I used a program called Auto Run Typhoon to release an exe file that was a digital album. So we got these packages of USB drives. And then they were these clamshells. You opened it up, pulled the thing, closed it, threw it in the garbage. But we kept all of the packaging. And I created art, in GIMP or Photoshop or whatever I was using at the time to go in those. So I just reused their clamshell packages. So we did consignment with a couple different record stores. For CD copies of the vinyl, which we also made and printed out local and did all the cutting on our own. We have a poster version and then a booklet version. Actually, here. Camera 1.
Camera 2.
So oh, that's camera 2. No. So these guys here, this was the original. This was our test pressing. This one has the poster in it. And then this guy here is the one that actually got the barcode. So this was back in the MySpace days, right? Russian Voice did say camera 2, yeah. Was it similar to the Backstreet Boys? No, it was not. It was a female-fronted hard rock band. So when we consigned 5 of these to each of the record stores in the town that we were in, but we also gave them 2 or 3 of the USB jump drives, which we just called our digital album. It was pretty cool. It had all the art and everything, and it had this menu that came up, and you'd select the song and you get a page that played it. But it also had obviously the MP3s built in. But it had music that I made an agreement with a couple other artists to put on there to help share their music on the digital album. And I think all of those got sold. But it was interesting when the people that ran these record stores never seen anything like that before. And I don't know if anybody else had put an album on a jump drive. This was 2009 when we released this. I'm sure somebody else had done that. Like, it was kind of the thing that you would find on like an enhanced CD, you know, around like 2003 or so, where it had like music videos and whatnot. But it was just a totally on a jump drive. We just had all these like $6 jump drives that we bought in bulk. Oh, it's cool. It was fun to design. I still have the files for it, if anybody's ever interested in checking that out. It still runs. Like, I designed it on Windows XP, but it still runs on modern systems. But it's all super low res now, like 1024 by 768 resolution. Alright, Mark. I've signed them for an EP. I just got the pressing. What's amazing with Mark is that even if we haven't seen each other for probably over years, he behaves as if we spent yesterday evening together. Hello, Mark. How are you? Are you okay? Everything's cool, thanks. And you? What brings you down here? Have you heard from Ulysse lately? No. Mark seems a little surprised at the question. Now that you mention it, it's been an age. Last I heard, he was in Paris. But when I say last, well, that was 6 months ago. Just heard a sound, but nothing. Oh, over here. The lexicon. I think we just got information about the band that we're listening to. I called him for a customer who was looking for Magma originals. Oh! Is that what this was? Yeah, Magma. Sure. After it's true, we've kind of lost contact since. Mark breaks off. I guess that in some way, he must blame me a little for what happened between Ulysse and me. Seeing as our breakup also cost him his business partner. Anyway. So, no news of Ulysse lately. Now, why do you ask? He sent me a record. I decided to get straight to the point. He sent me a record. A record? Yes. No note, no explanation, no return address, nothing. Just a vinyl record in a package. To tell the truth, the only clue that told me it's from him was his handwriting on the address. Oh, Dragon Jim's tired of the heat, you're melting? I'm lucky today. It's like 77 degrees. Not the end of the world. It was like 85 yesterday. And it's... I'm tired of global warming. You bet, as I sit here with all of my computers. Hey Sheila, how you doing? Lucky? Yeah, I know. It's gonna get to like 80 in here probably in the next hour, and then just like cling to that until the sun goes down. But I am grateful that with the fan in the window, I don't have the AC running. I'm gonna run to the restroom really quick. 94, holy shit, that sucks. I'm gonna run to the restroom really quick, and then we're gonna continue on. Be right back. If I could get a mod to do some shoutouts, that would be awesome.
You make annoying noises, but you're also cute little puppies. Such a shame I have to hit you with a crowbar.
have me eat a warhead, huh? Hi, Dark Legion Mage.
Good day, sir. Checking in?
Can I get a room?
Ordinarily, yes. But I'm sorry to say we're all booked up. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
Nope.
See ya. I'm not talking to any tourists.
That's
Oh. Okay. Hey, you're already there.
This time I remembered I could cheat.
Show me best. We'll show you, bro.
Alright, double kick.
Kick him twice. Straight in the new.
Now hold E on that bag. Is that
No one told me anything about the hint system. Really? Oh my god. What am I? God damn it. I can't believe I fall for that shit. Oldest fucking trick in the book, and I even know what it does. Good thing I saved. I know what it does, and I still did it.
It's been 100 plus for the past week for you, Dragon Gym. That sucks. This of all clips. Clean your clips, people. I am performing liposuction on my clips in Twitch. I have been for the past couple weeks. Like there's only like 5 clips that are over 2 years old now. I've just been deleting everything. There's certain clips that I've just got tired of seeing in the shoutouts or highlight reels. And some that just needed to be deleted years ago. Not to mention, like, I've removed about 70 clips that were clearly somebody just misclicking trying to make the player go in full screen. You get called out for deleting it. It's weird. It's weird the clips that the algorithm chooses to put shout-out plays on. Because, like, eventually it's like, okay, we're gonna only, shout out their more viewed clips. But it's the thing making them more viewed. Like, I believe that the rarity of somebody, like, going through and watching a bunch of clips on a channel that's offline, not super high. Not as high as you'd think. So it's like the shout-out things that's doing the plays on them. So every time it gets shouted out, it's like, oh, this is a more popular clip. And it does it again. It's, oh, it's a more popular clip. Does it again. You did an Alt F4 troll? Yes, nice. Oh, is that what happened in that clip? That's amazing. Uh-huh. To tell the truth, the only clue that told me it's him was the address. Mark watches me with an odd intensity. Did I spark his interest when I mentioned the record? Or is it something else? Concern? Or fear? Could you describe the record to me? I can do better than that. He's like, no, God, don't bring it here. I'm about to fish out the record from my bag when Mark gestures me to stop. He hails someone who's been rummaging in the reggae Afrobeat box behind me. Hey, sir. His target turns with an air of feigned innocence. The guy's in his 50s, wears a black comma leather bike jacket and snug matching pants. His hair is slicked back rockabilly style. Considering his age, the improbable uniform black of a bottle of hair dye. Can I help you? The guy grumbles, discontent, shakes his head, and saunters towards the exit. Mark waits for the closing door to ring the bell hanging above it before continuing. Did that guy follow you by any chance? Oh shit, now it's getting interesting. Follow me? Yeah, follow you. How should I put it? Have you been feeling that you're being watched since you received the record? Yes, I've had that feeling. We got a flower. Yes, I had the feeling of being followed yesterday evening on my way home. But, well, I figured it was being paranoid. Why would somebody tail me? And anyway, why would you suspect that guy especially? Mark can't repress a smile. Two things. An old rockabilly who I don't know in my shop? They're an endangered species. I can guarantee that all come in here, no exception, at least once a week for coffee or beer. They never buy anything, but they're cool and they've always got amazing stories to tell. Okay, that's a bit of a stretch, but never mind. And a guy in leather boots going through Afrobeat box for 10 minutes? If that's not suspicious. I burst out laughing. Oh, okay, that's very suspicious. You're right. Mark leans over the counter to check who is actually in his shop. There's only a couple of students giggling in the depths of the shop, and a guy meticulously comparing the covers of two Frank Zappa's Hot Rats, the headphones of the open access turntable clamped over his ears. Okay, coast is clear. I slipped the record from my bag and placed it on the counter. A 45 white label, a test pressing? No scribe number in the grooves. One of two sides is a mirror side. Mark smiles. You've forgotten the jargon then. After all the time I spent with Ulysses, I think it's lodged in my brain forever. You can put it away. I know what it is. Really? It's not a white label. It's an acetate. A single copy. That's why there's no matrix number. I put the record back in my bag. But I'm surprised you don't recognize it. Ulysses unearthed it a while before you split up. It was the only record he wanted to keep when he left. Which meant I had to buy his share of the stock. I would have preferred that he take his psychedelic self. He take the psychedelic shelf. It would have saved me taking out a bank loan. Do you know where it comes from? Did you listen to it? Lightning bolt. Did you listen to it? Yeah, I put it on once. On the headphones. That was quite enough for me. Oh yeah? Look, I'm no angel, right? I know the effects of psychedelics, mushrooms, LSD, mescaline, salvia. I tried pretty much everything. But I've never had a trip like the one that Wrecker took me on. What did you see? What did the records show you? Mark takes a deep breath and looks away. It's personal. It took me back a minute to the moment in my life I'd rather forget. A turning point, I guess you call it. Okay, I understand. I understand. I don't particularly want to go over the experience again either. At least not until I know a bit more. Mark smiles. There are quite a few legends going around about that record, you know. Some people claim the last record of a Delta bluesman who made a pact with the devil. It's kind of a holy grail of record collectors, if you see what I mean. There's plenty of crazies who say it's got magical powers. If I were you, I'd be very careful. That record attracts trouble. And to be honest, it makes me pretty anxious about Ulysses. Hey, Highbury. I am doing well. How are you doing? Welcome in. It's obvious. It's obviously the most precious thing he possesses. Him sending it to you by post like that, it's not a good sign. After everything you've told me, yeah, it's worrying. Do you have his telephone number? The simplest thing would be to try to reach him for a start, right? Mark nods and picks up a handset. He hangs up a few seconds later. It's sending me direct to his answer phone, telling me my correspondence voicemail box is full, which isn't totally surprising with Ulysses. We're interrupted by the sound of the bell hanging above the door. A young punk covered in tattoos approaches the counter. Without bothering with any of the courtesies, she speaks directly to Mark. Do you still have tickets for Sonic Youth? Mark takes the tickets from beneath the counter and makes a sale. I gaze after the young woman as she leaves. Mark clears her throat loudly at me, and watches with a smile. I realize I was probably staring at his customers so hard that he noticed. That style would suit you. Do you think? Family and the dog's doing really good. Sounds like my wife's parents that got COVID are feeling better. Or at least they're not feeling worse. I guess I should ask for an update tonight when I see my wife when she gets home. Dog's at the puppy daycare today. Yeah. That's what I know right now. Oh man, my neck and shoulders just kinked up today. Do you think? I'm not surprised. I find myself considering the possibility. Or I'm surprised I find myself considering the possibility. Then again, it's not as if my job gives me much leeway fashion-wise. I don't know. I'm not persuaded that my boss would find it quite as cool as you do. What was in your head going into finance? I'm a personal financial advisor in a little city center bank in Bordeaux. It's not exactly what I call going into finance. Anyways, what were we saying? If Ulysses is impossible to reach, and that's not really surprising. I'll give you his address if you want. Do you go to Paris sometimes for work? Mark grabs a pen and paper. It can happen, but like once a year, max. In any case, I'm not going to happen anytime soon. Same for me. I just got back from vacation. It'd be kind of tricky to justify a trip to Paris. I've written down his number too, just in case. Mark gives me the paper. The first to hear anything calls the other, alright? I nod. Thanks, Mark. You should drop by more often. It's good to see you. As they say, don't be a stranger. You're right. Spiral. We got Spiral in that one. You're right. I'll come by more often in the future. My apartment looks like a bomb site. Oh, fuck. I had the sense that something was wrong as soon as I entered the communal area. The door of the apartment was already ajar when I pushed it open, and I prepared myself to spectate what I was about to confront. Every square centimeter has been carefully searched, every closet emptied, every drawer turned out. I picked a cushion which lay on the living room floor and replaced it on the couch before dropping down next to it, dejected. Lexicon. No, there's like there's a thing about Frank Zappa stuff. I realized that Mark's warning weren't unfounded. Somebody really wants that record. And that person is ready to enter my home while I'm away to achieve their ends. Was it the old rockabilly who was spying on me at the store? He didn't seem particularly dangerous. On the other hand, a record with that power to change the past, I totally understand that someone might want to get a hold of it, even if it means breaking a few laws along the way. To be honest, I find it a bit difficult to understand this desire to change the past. I guess that personally, I'd prefer to move forward. And anyway, it would be playing with fire, right? The record has already stolen my relationship with Jean. I'm going to have to figure out how it works if I want to get my life back. At the moment, the only solid lead I have is Ulysses. I take out my phone, dial the number that Mark gave me. Maybe I'll be luckier with him, you never know. Apparently not, because I am also welcomed by the recorded operator's voice telling me in a monotone voice that the correspondent's voicemail box is full. Beneath the number, there's an address in St. Anne. I know what I have to do. The advantage of my enforced celibacy is that logistics and organization of the journey are much simpler. I call Rob and let him know that I'm going. I explain the situation as rationally as possible, omitting, of course, the tales of the pact with the devil. He's kind enough to agree to take care of getting my locks replaced. I also leave a message for my boss at the bank to notify him of my absence. The time to throw a few things in a suitcase and jump on a tram, and I'm at the station. An hour later, I board a train for Paris. Alright, we've entered chapter 2. Paris. A ray of light seeping between the curtains wakes me. It was 11 p.m. when I had reached Montparnasse last night, and I'd check into the little hotel I stumbled on when I left the station. I checked the time, 11 o'clock. I haven't slept this late in years. Of course, after recent events, sleep hadn't exactly come easy. My window looks... Sorry, music was a little loud in my ears. The window looks out over Boulevard Raspail and gives me a superb view of Paris in a downpour. Perfect weather for my trip, the flea markets of St. Anne in search of Ulysses. As I dress, I realize the clothes I tossed in my suitcase the night before are completely unsuited for the rigors of Parisian climate. A problem I'll have to remedy fast if I don't want to struggle against the cold and wet as I trek around the city. I consider taking the record with me, but decide that it's probably more secure in the safe in my room. As the rain lets up a little, I walk to a local brasserie that I used to go to occasionally as a student. Usually, when I come to Paris, it's just a quick return trip to the head office of the bank I work in La Défense. It's pleasant to be able to enjoy the capital without the constant stress, even if I'm not exactly on vacation. Maybe it's a matter of context, I don't know. But I think to myself, this could be a great opportunity to hook up with some of my college friends. I sit in the terrace under an awning, light a cigarette, and order a croque monsieur and a coffee. I mentally catalog my old friends and realize that those that I haven't lost track of have, like me, moved out into the provinces. Of course, there's my old pal Frank Duvall. Last I heard, he still lives here. I should call him and see if he wants to meet me for a drink. Call Frank? Don't call Frank? Yeah, let's get an ally here or something. Call Frank. Spiral. I tell myself that a bit of moral support wouldn't hurt. Frank and I have known each other for so long, and I feel a little ashamed of myself for not catching up with him more. This is time to fix that. I grab my phone and dial his number. He tells me he'd love to see me, and we agree to meet on a meeting place for a drink later in the evening. I look forward to it happening. I finish my croque, pay the bill, and set off towards the nearest subway entrance. The rain is falling again. When I get to St. Ouen, the address that Mark gave me is stall 73 in the Jules Vales market. First, I deal with my most pressing problem. I go into a thrift shop I come across. There's no shortage of them here in St. Ouen. I quickly rummage through the overflowing racks of eclectic garments, trying to find something practical, cheap, and warm. I select an old coat, long with a fur collar. It's not exactly the type of thing I usually wear, but I think to myself, after all, why not? I slip it on, just my size. The young woman at the cash desk assures me that it looks fabulous. A few minutes later, and a few euros later, but ready to face the fall drizzle, I head out in search of Yuli's stall. The neighborhood is a real maze, and I'm going in circles for some time before I finally stumble across the entrance to the Jules Vales market. It's well into the afternoon, and some of the stalls have already begun to close shop. I hope I'm not going to pay for my lie-in by finding myself facing a closed metal shutter. I work my way down the lone stall 73. Unfortunately, instead of the old record stall I had hoped to find, the place is taken by a bookseller. A bit further along the stall selling 1950s furnishings, which also has a few boxes of old records. Above the storefront sign announces Patty's Store, Hardware and Records. Maybe the owner, a young woman who looks like a Betty Page imitator, will be able to help me. On the other hand, the bookseller is unhurriedly moving boxes of books inside. The bookseller, a mustached old man, watches me with interest, probably trying to decide whether he should come over to me or let me come to him. Oh, we got choices. Let's go talk to Patty. Questioning Patty seems to me like more a promising option. I turn away and head towards her at the furniture stall. I approach the young woman who is writing in a large notebook. The day's accounts, probably. Hello, I guess you're Patty? She looks up at me and answers with a slight Italian accent. Patrizia. Patty's for the tourist. What can I do for you? I'm looking for a record store owner. His name was Ulysses. I was told Pitch 73, but there's a bookstore there now. Does it ring a bell? Patrizia gives me a broad smile and gazes at me. Let me guess, Alice, right? She burst out laughing at my startled expression, delighted to have astounded me with such, but without a trace of spite. It's funny. You're not at all how I imagined you to be. Oh, this is fucking freaky. But how? It's simple. Ulysses told me about you, of course. You really screwed with his head when you left him, you know. But he's the one who left me. Petrie stares at me. Straight away, I regret my outburst. How do you two know each other? He took Saul 73 about, what, 3-4 years ago? He was just next door. He seemed nice, so I went over to say hello and we became friends. Something tells me they were more than just friends. I'm reluctant to ask her. Ask if they had a fling, don't ask? Don't ask. I decided I prefer not to know, but I suppose my agitation must be obvious. Patrizia snorts with laughter again. The situation seems to amuse her enormously. Yet there's no hostility, no spite. Just disarming honesty paired with a certain audacity. Yes, we were having sex, your man and I. He even lived at my place for a while when he first arrived in Paris. But it didn't work out. Patricia heaves a theoretical sigh, intensely Italian. No. But it had nothing to do with you, my dear. We weren't meant to last. Ulysses wasn't really my type, if you know what I mean. Patrizia gives me a knowing smile and continues talking before I really had a chance to figure out what she's trying to tell me. And I had to say that his hippie music got on my nerves pretty quickly. Let me guess, you're more of a Cramps or Meteors type of girl, right? Exactly. We could see eye to eye on the Sonics and the Kinks, but that gave us a pretty small common ground. And of course, I soon realized that he was still hung up on me. Anyways, we broke up, but we stayed on good terms. He's not the type to hold a grudge, your Ulysses. Ask if she knows where Ulysses is. Do you know what happened to him after he left Paris? Oh, he left in a bit of a hurry. But I think he said something about England, London, if I remember right. What the fuck? We're gonna be globe hopping, aren't we? What do you mean in a hurry? Yeah, it pretty much happened overnight. He didn't want to tell me exactly where he was leaving. Tell the truth, I thought he was leaving for you to go back to you. I guess I was wrong. Patricia rummages in her bag, pulls out a cell phone, she checks the time. It's time to close up. Do you have plans for this evening? Her question catches me unawares. I plan to meet a friend for drinks, why do you ask? That's a shame. I could have introduced you to someone who might have some answers to your questions. I can cancel with Frank easy enough. I can always see him some other time. On the other hand, I really want to spend the evening with Patrizia's and this mystery person? Ask for an explanation. Sorry, but what do you mean, someone who'll have the answers to my questions? Patrizia smiles. An old musician that I know. Ulysses spent some time with him before he left. Maybe he can clue you in better than I can. What do you say? Oh, fuck. Hard choice. I don't know what to do here. Shit, chat, what do you think? Do we gaff off Frank, go with Patrizia? If we go there, do we get kidnapped by some rando that's looking for a record? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to pick. There's Siki Wisdom's friend that texted me. I will have to hit them back when I'm done with the stream. We're gonna detour and go with Patrizia, I think. All right. Just give me a minute to call my friend and let him know. I move away to call Frank. He's a bit disappointed, but he seems distracted. I offer to meet him tomorrow, but unfortunately this is his last evening in Paris. A pity. I promise to make it up to him next time. I go back to Patrizia, who's waiting patiently for me to hang up. She smiles at me. Help me shut up the shop? I help Patrizia stow away record crates and small pieces of furniture that were beneath the awning. And then she pulls down the metal shutter. When we walk past the stall 73, the owner's already shut up shop. A pity. Then we head towards the way out. 3 hours and 2 gin and tonics later, I'm still waiting to meet Patrizia's mystery. We'd left Jules Vale's market, and we caught a metro, then another. Patrizia steers me to a grotty bar in a little street in the 11th arrondissement near Bastille. The music and the eclectic mix of garage, rockabilly, psychedelic blaring out at an almost deafening volume and the extremely reasonable price of the drink seemed to be a major selling points for this joint. We found Patrizia's friends. We quickly hit it off. Paul and John were record store owners. They recall meeting Ulysse when he was in Paris and going out with Patrizia. This doesn't particularly surprise me. Ulysse tends to stick in your mind. Justin works at the town hall in the 8th arrondissement, and Claudia in a clothing shop in Chatelaine. Luke, who must be getting on for 50, is part of the technical crew at Olympia. We talk a lot about music, we chat about our lives. Paul tries to flirt mildly with me, but Patrizia freezes him with a look, and he stops, a little embarrassed. When I ask Patrizia which of her friends I should question about Ulysse, she says Enzo isn't here yet. He'll be here later after work. I'm ordering another drink when I feel Patrizia's arm on my arm. Hand on my arm. She speaks into my ear above the hubbub. Come on, let me introduce you to Enzo. I follow her to the end of the bar to find that a new arrival has joined the little group. A man rather advanced in years, dressed in a velvet suit with a flowery shirt. He gives a shout of laughter and an easy smile, creasing his white bearded face. His presence is magnetic. The image of an old wizard runs through my head, but I have a sense that this man's very down to earth, rooted in reality and delighting in life. Ah, Patrizia, think of quoi? He kisses the young woman affectionately, like an old uncle kissing his favorite niece, which makes me wonder if maybe they're related in some way. Then he turns to me. Good evening. I think we don't know each other, yes? No, I'm Alice. Nice to meet you. He speaks with a strong Italian accent, which strengthens my idea of a family connection. Enzo, I don't know if you remember Ulysses, I introduced you. At the mention of my ex, a shadow passes over the old man's face. Alice is looking for him, and I suggested she meet you. Seeing as you and Ulysses got on so well. Do you know what happened to him after he left Paris? Enzo gestures for me to follow him. Come with me, we're going somewhere where we can talk without shouting. Enzo and I walk out of the bar and up a road, a little courtyard. Enzo sits on a bench and I sit down next to him. He lights a cigarette and offers me the pack. I accept one, let him light it for me. I'm not going to make any bones about it. If I mention a certain record, a 45 with a white sleeve, well, I'm caught off guard by this question. Should I be wary of this man? Or can I trust him? Let's avoid the question. To tell the truth, sir, I'm really looking for Ulysses. I'm worried about him. Do you know what's happened to him after he left Paris? Enzo smiles. I understand your doubts. You're right not to trust me. Just like that, on first sight. That said, I promise you I want nothing more to do with that record. You can speak your mind to me. My life is behind me now. It would be of no use to me. Oh, and I'm no longer a young man, but you can call me Enzo, okay? A nod. Okay. As you've guessed, yes, I've listened to the record a long time ago. But the fact that Ulysses and I met is really just chance or destiny. Have you seen the film Le Circle Rogue? No. No, it doesn't ring a bell. That doesn't surprise me. It's a very old French crime movie with Alain Delon and Yves Montand. At the start of the film, Jean-Pierre Melville, the director, invented a quote which he attributed to Guatemala, and which I think perfectly applies to all the people who have listened to the record. When men, even unknowingly, are to meet one day, whatever may befall each, whatever the diverging paths, on the said day, they will inevitably come together in the red circle. Seeing my confusion, Enzo adds, there aren't so many of us that have listened to the record, but our paths keep crossing, as if our fates were linked. I suppose you have listened to the record too. You must understand what I'm talking about. I try to look unfazed, but something tells me that Enzo's no fool. Believe it or not, I really did meet Ulysses by chance. What were the circumstances that he would rent the pitch next to my nieces, so they are related, or that they would hit it off. So much that she'd introduce him to me, and because we share a passion for psychedelic music. It's true, not strange. Why are you looking for him? He contacted me by mail a few days ago. I knew straight away something wasn't right. Enzo takes a breath and rolls his eyes. He wanted to know. He wanted to know more about the record. To know where it came from. To know how it worked. He told me about you, you know. That doesn't surprise me. I understand. I talk about him too sometimes. Believe me, there are some people, some regrets that we carry with us all our lives. The last time I saw him, he talked about London. He had a solid lead. Yes, that's what Patricia said. But you know, London is big. You said a solid lead. Can you be more precise? Enzo looked troubled. I'm sorry. You at least dropped by to see me. I was at work. Excuse me. He said something about a DJ. Something Putman, I think. The DJ? Yeah, on the radio. Ah, a radio presenter. Did he say which station? Enzo shrugs. That doesn't help me much. But it's better than nothing, I suppose. Enzo must see disappointment in my face because he adds, if I'd have known you'd be looking for him, I'd have asked for more details. We're quiet for a moment. I think Enzo has told me all he knows about Ulysse, which isn't much. I could cut the conversation short and suggest we go back to the bar. I could ask him to tell me his story. He hasn't told me how he came to have the record. Let's ask him about his past. Spiral. You haven't told me how you came to have the record. It's a long story. Are you sure you want to listen to the ramblings of an old man? I smile. Yeah, since I asked, of course I'm interested. Enzo looks delighted. Very well, I warned you. I played in a musica psychedelic band when I was young in Italy. We played a lot of concerts. We even took parts in some of the big festivals at the time. Glastonbury, the Isles of Wights. We weren't as good as, Airplane or Dead, but we weren't bad. We released a record, a little label over there. What was your band called? Cora del Terra. That means Heart of the Earth. Before I can find the words to tell him the name meant nothing to me, Enzo rescued me from my confusion by adding, "Oh, it's normal, you've never heard of us. We didn't sell much." When I'm in a record store, I always check the 60s box, hoping to find a copy, but I've only come across 4 since the band broke up. I guess the unsold ones are in a warehouse somewhere, or they've been destroyed. It came out in 1971. The golden age was almost over. And we started, if we started a few years earlier, we would have had a chance. At least I think so. As we were discovered by Vertigo. Phillips Experimental label? That's it. They were already a prestige label at the time. We thought that if we signed with them, our success was guaranteed. Giuseppe, our guitarist, promised them a really ambitious concept album. They just released 666 from Aphrodite's Child, and they thought we'd had the chops to make the same type of album, but with an Italian feel. They sent us to Paris to record at a Europa Sonar studio, where Aphrodite's Child had recorded 666. That's where we listened to the record. The record company had sent us this Russian to deal with the production. Sergei Ivanovich. A talented guy. The stuff he could pull out of the studio recordings, it was miraculous. But how should I say it? He was crazy. Crazy in what way? Where do I start? He took an incredible amount of drugs. He was unpredictable. Giuseppe adored him straight away. Me, I preferred to keep my distance. One day he arrived at the studio with the record. He introduced it as an ultimate psychedelic trip. Better than ayahuasca. I don't know what that is. Giuseppe listened to it first. He convinced me and the others in the band to listen too. Didn't much put up a fight. After all, it was just a record. It couldn't be worse than listening to the B-sides of White Light, White Heart on acid, right? Enzo stops. I turn towards him. His eyes are damp. I realize he's probably stole a piece of his life, too. A piece of him. The record stole something from you? The record stole someone from you too? Enzo sighs. Yeah, you could say that. The record made me relive my past. Before I listened to it, I was married. My wife, Juliana, or Julia, however you say that, was expecting our first child. When I came back to reality, she was dead, a car accident 2 years earlier, and it was my fault. I never knew Giuseppe and the others saw when they listened to the record or if it changed their past. I never asked them. Of course, listening again and again to the record the next day after I realized I had destroyed my life and my family. And did you succeed? No. The record never again gave me the moment when I could have stopped the accident. But each time I listened, my present changed, bringing me back to reality that was further and further from my memories. I didn't care. I wanted to get my Julia back. But no matter what I tried to change, she was dead, and I was in the studio recording a record. What happened after? The band collapsed. I needed to grieve. No one understood what I was going through. No one could understand, really. When I resurfaced a few months later, I was a pizza cook in a restaurant on the 11th Admonishment. Our album was almost finished when I left. But seeing as there was no more band to promote it, Vertigo never released it. Giuseppe was the only one who stayed in music. He had a little success in Italy in the 80s. A disco track under an American-sounding stage name. And then my sister moved to France after she separated from her daughter's father. Her daughter, Patrizia, I suppose. Enzo smiles. There you go. Now you know everything. Do you know where the record came from? Do you know what happened to the record afterwards? Do you know how your sound engineer Sergey got the record? I can tell you what he said to me at the time, but I can't promise it's the truth. I shrug. Go on. Sergey won in a poker game in a hippie commune in Germany. Really? I don't recall the details, but he was always telling unbelievable stories. But then some of them were confirmed by people I trusted, so who knows? Why not that one? And before Germany? There are several theories about the origin of the record. According to Sergey, the record was recorded by Timothy Leary just before he left the United States. Timothy Leary? Timothy Leary, yeah, one of the leaders of the counterculture. He researched LSD use and crusaded for its legalization in the 60s. Hang on, though. In that case, why didn't you at least follow that lead? Surely he should be in Berlin or Munich instead of London, right? Oh, of course, you at least tried that lead when I told him my story. He even went to Germany last year. Unfortunately, it was a dead end. We sit in silence on the bench. Enzo lights another cigarette. He finishes it, crushes it out. We go back to the bar. The place has started to empty, and the end of the evening is drawing near. The background music firmly rock and roll. When we left, it mellowed into soul. Probably Al Green or Wilson Pickett. Our group has migrated to a table at the back of the bar. I pick up my barely touched drink and sit down. The ice has melted, a pity. Oh shit, I just missed a thing. I try to organize my thoughts when I feel a hand on my thigh. Patricia sits next to me. Was Enzo able to help you? I considered the question for a few seconds. Honestly, he mostly just confirmed what I already know. That said, he was kind enough to tell me about his past, the record that stole his wife from him and his familia, as he says. At least Jean is still alive in this reality. But it reaffirmed my belief that the record shouldn't be used lightly. Who knows what strange version of me I could find myself in. I realize that Patricia is still waiting for my answer. Not really, but I had a great night. I didn't learn much from him that I didn't already know, but no matter. At least, I've had a really great night. Patricia smiles. Me too. I'm glad we got the chance to get to know each other better. We were interrupted by Justine, who's getting up, signaling us that she's going. Closely followed by Claudia and Paul. We exchange kisses. Luke, John, Enzo seem deep in a heated discussion. Patricia turns to me. I'm gonna head off soon too. Can I offer you a last drink at my place? I live 3 blocks away. I wasn't born yesterday. The signals that Patricia is sending me this evening are pretty clear. It's clearly not just a last drink she's offering. On one hand, I could see cheating on John. On the other hand, will probably be erased when I listen to the record again. I flirted with a few women during my years at college, but never took it all the way. Maybe it was too conventional, maybe I was scared of being ostracized. This moment, outside of my true reality, wouldn't be the right time to try something new without risk of consequences. Yep. We're going with Patricia. Okay, a last drink then. I put my hand over hers. With pleasure. So let's go. Patricia gets up and says goodbye to her uncle and her friends. I do the same and I follow her, and we are swallowed up by the Parisian night. I let Patricia guide me through the narrow streets. After several hundred meters, I have the feeling of being watched. Again. Patricia notices and asks me what's wrong. I feel like someone's following us. Do you think? She looks around. Oh, you're right. I know this guy. Further down the sidewalk, we can make out the shape of a man in a leather jacket. Hey, stop following us, Eddie. We've seen you. Eddie? Yeah. It's Jean-Luc Granville. But he prefers to be called Eddie Black. He's a loser, has been. After hesitating for a moment, he comes towards us. When he passes under a street lamp, I recognize his face. It's the old rockabilly who was listening to my conversation with Mark yesterday in Bordeaux. Sorry, Patty. I didn't want to bother you. I just want to speak to the young lady. He jerks his chin in my direction. Well, first, the young lady has a name. She's called Alice. Don't fucking dox me! Secondly, it's the middle of the night in a back street. Do you really think it's the right moment to ask anyone anything? If you have something to say to my friend, you can say it at a decent time and place, okay? But there's no but. Go on, get out of here. Eddie hesitates again, opens his mouth, speak, thinks again, and then looks sheepishly and heads off in the other direction. Patricia watches him until he turns the corner and is out of sight. He lives in the neighborhood. I bump into him a lot. He's not a bad guy, but he's kind of clueless. He wouldn't stop hassling you East about some rare record. I hope he won't bother you too much with all that. It'll be okay. It worries me a bit. I have to confess, it does worry me a bit all the same. He followed me from Bordeaux. I already caught him listening in on my conversations. And my apartment was searched. Searched? Honestly, I can't see Eddie breaking into somebody's home. Are you sure it wasn't just a burglary? I shake my head. No, whoever broke in didn't steal anything. It has something to do with Ulysse. I don't know what he's got himself into, but I'd be careful if I were you. Patrizia stops in front of a turn-of-the-century building with coach gate. We're here. She rummages around in her bag for her keys. Then we climb 6 flights up to her little apartment under the eaves. The interior reflects her perfectly lush Baroque with lots of 1950s fashion. Sorry, give me just 1 second. I need to text something to my wife. Real quick. Okay, sorry about that. Patrizia kicks off her heels and slips off her jacket bag in the entry hall before choosing a record to put on the turntable. She directs me to do the same while she goes to get us a drink. I sit down on her shabby old sofa. The crackling of the record gives way to smooth voice of a croonish accompanied by a few sultry piano notes, probably Sinatra. Patrizia returns with 2 cocktail glasses full of clear liquid, olives bobbing at the bottom of each. Nice. I found the making of a gin martini. I hope you like it. She puts the glass on the coffee table and snuggles up against me. After all the signals she's been sending me this evening, her intentions couldn't be clearer. If I really don't want the night to finish in her bed, I need to tell her right now. With that in mind, I need to be extremely tactful if I don't want to upset her. I could also take the lead and show her that we're on the same wavelength. Yeah, we're gonna kiss her. I take her face gently between my hands and press a shy kiss onto her mouth. She returns with fervor. We stay on the couch for a while, intertwined. Then she takes my hand and guides me to her bedroom. I'm awoken by the sound of water running through the ancient pipes, as a ray of sunshine which filters through the blinds. I hardly had time to stretch, and sit up on the bed when I realize Patrice puts her head around the door. Oh, you're awake. Yes, I answered, stifling a yawn. Do you mind if I finish getting ready in here? I have to open my stall at 11. I shake my head. Patricia, her hair wrapped in a towel, crosses the room and opens the blind, then the window. The sun is shining brightly outside, and the early fall chill dispels my sleepiness. She sits down in front of the dressing table and begins to apply her makeup. So then you're leaving for London next, are you? Yes, that's right. As soon as I've dropped into my hotel and gotten myself a train ticket. Hey, Wolfie, welcome in. I'm like super sucked into the story. I kind of forgot I was streaming. That alert was getting close to that 24. Hell yeah. How are you doing today? Here I am just randomly hooking up with girls in Paris. It's fine. Do you know something to go on? To find Ulysses over there? Your uncle told me about a radio presenter named Putman. But he wasn't sure. Doing fine. Someone gifted me the Half-Life 2 DLCs, so I'm doing them. You mean the 2 episodes? Nice. Very cool. Fun fact, not DLC if they came on a physical disc, and they did. Except for that, not much, unfortunately. They were the last of their kind as expansion packs. But also new things called episodes. They were it's an interesting detour that game development could have gone into with episodes, and it just didn't quite catch on, and then Valve even abandoned it. The most that we have for episodes would be like Life is Strange now. And even that's a hard sell. Asking people to come back to a game every couple months. Like that. Disc loaded content? Yeah, just expansion packs, but episodes. I mean, they were expansion packs, like Fear and Doom 3 had expansion packs. And Quake had expansion packs. That's what they were. But Valve decided to call them episodes. And that was the start of episodic gaming. They gave a big speech on how they thought it was going to be the future of gaming. And then episode 3 never came out. And they've never done episodes again. It's interesting, a lot of the things that Valve starts a little too ahead of their time and then abandons. The Sims expansion packs, yeah. Patricia's hand, which holds the mascara, freezes, and she seems to be thinking something over. I'll give you one of his contacts, a record store guy. He came and spent a weekend in Paris with us when we were together, your man and I. So, it's interesting that we just had sex with the girl that also had sex with our ex-boyfriend. Everything's come full circle. Phrasing. Strong phrasing. A really good guy, you'll see. She grabs a notepad and an eyeliner, which lies on her dresser table, and notes down an address. Oh, she did it with eyeliner? Oh boy. That's gonna be messy. Alan O'Reilly? Alan O'Reilly? Oh. You shouldn't know him. It was me who introduced him to Ulysses. He's an old friend of mine, actually. I lay the paper on the bedside table. Thank you, anyway. At least I know where to start when I get to London. Patricia gives me a big smile in the mirror. You're welcome. Plus, I had a great evening, and just a lovely night. Thanks, I had a great time, too. Sorry if this is a bit nosy. Patricia seizes the hairdryer and begins to subdue her damp mass of brown curls. I watch her distractedly trying to put some order into my thoughts. At least I've got somewhere to aim for in London. That's something. Right, well, I have to run. She gets up, leans over, kisses my cheek. There's coffee in the machine, and I left you a set of keys on the table. Take your time, have a shower if you want to. If you want. And you can drop the keys in the post box on your way out. That would be great. Thanks. An hour or so later, I leave her apartment too. A car just drove by in stereo. It like went through my head. I leave the apartment too and head towards my hotel. 1 o'clock, I'm on a train heading to London. Arriving at St. Pancras in just 2 hours. Which gives me time to find a hotel and prepare my search. As there's probably no better way of finding a record store owner than talking to other record store owners, I'll begin making a list of stores to visit. Hey, Elsa Mike, how you doing? I already have a name and an address, Alan O'Reilly. That's better than nothing. I'll take the opportunity to ask a few questions about the record, too. Maybe I'll be able to get more precise information about this Putman than Enzo mentioned. After my exciting night, I spent a hectic morning running from subway to catch the first train, all on an empty stomach. I'm going to be roaming London with my suitcase. I really should eat something first. I grudgingly decide to take a wander to a buffet cart to buy myself a sandwich, which is unlikely to be tasty, but which will certainly be very expensive. Indistinctly, I check the record is tucked away in the bottom of my bag, and I begin to trek the cart 13. I order a ham sandwich. Oh, this is on the train. Got it. A ham sandwich and a cup of insipid brown liquid which claims to be coffee. When I notice a poster suggesting that maybe it's a good idea to invest in a travel card. I check my wallet to see if I've forgotten my Oyster card, with a few credits on it from my last conference in London. As I feared, it must be on the shelf somewhere in my apartment in Bordeaux. Unless, of course, it simply doesn't exist at all in this reality. The steward behind the counter tells me that he's sorry, but they're out of prepaid cards. I've just resigned myself to a long wait in line on my arrival to Bustle King's Cross Station when the person behind me offers me her card. I turn surprised. She's in her 30s with short hair and a trouser suit. Except, why not? Look, that's really kind of you, thanks. Out of courtesy, I add, can I reimburse you for it? Wait, is that Eva? It looks like old us, maybe. Oh no, there's no need, really. Her French is excellent, despite a touch of foreign accent, which I can't place. This seems to be really well written at first glance. This is about a record that we listened to and changed our history. Insipid liquid claimed to be coffee. This is a spiritual successor to a visual novel I played a couple months back, probably January, that was called Along the Edge. This was Across the Grooves. That one was about witchcraft. I don't know what this is about. A magic vinyl record of some kind. And we're trying to figure out where it came from and also why it was sent to us. But like when we started this story, you know, we had like a fiance and we were in an apartment, and he totally got erased from our lives. And other people have found the record and it's killed their family. Like when they were done listening to it, their family had been hit by cars and all kinds of horrible stuff. It's like Butterfly Effect is what's going on here. But it's listening to a song, a single on this little record. So we're trying to find our ex, who we think sent us the record. Not the one that doesn't exist for us anymore, but like an ex before that. Because he went off chasing it as well. And then, like, we just met a girl that he was sleeping with when he got to Paris. I just slept with her, too. So, we're making our choices. We're making our choices. Her French is excellent, despite a touch of foreign accent, which I can't place. Eva. If you're really resolved on an exchange of resources, buy me a coffee and we'll call it even. I'm almost out of cash, and it'll avoid me paying the card charges for such a small amount. And anyways, I wouldn't mind a bit of company. It'll help pass the time, don't you think? She holds out a hand. Eva, nice to meet you. Alice. I shake her hand, nod, and order another espresso for her. I join my generous benefactor, who takes a place near the counter. I slide the coffee to her. She slides the card to me. So tell me, Alice, what brings you to London? I take a minute to watch her before answering. This Eva is a bit odd. I'm certainly not going to share private business with a stranger, no matter how generous she is. Plus, there's nothing to convince me that she's not the umpteenth person who wants to steal Ulysses' record. Make something up. I'm gonna spend a few days with friends, nothing very exciting. Really? It's funny. I didn't have you down as a tourist. What makes you say that? I don't know, feeling? I'd have said you're coming to London with a clear purpose. Looking for someone, perhaps. Not exactly that. You've lived through something that's changed your view of the world, and you're looking for answers, right? I involuntarily stiffened. So in fact, she knows exactly who I am, and her presence in the line was not a coincidence. She scrutinizes me. Her eyes seem intense, too, piercing, making me extremely uneasy. As if she could plumb the depths of my soul with a glance. I try to regain control of the conversation by turning the question back on her. And you? What brings you to London? Well, you could say, I lost something a few years ago. An object that was priceless to me and my organization. After finally tracking it down very recently, I found it had changed hands before I could, let's say, secure a transaction. If you see what I mean. If I had any doubts before my companion's intentions, before now, they're now crystal clear. I could try to feign ignorance and slip away. I don't think Eva's the type to make a scene in public. I could also finish this game of make-believe and confront her head-on about the record. Speak frankly. Alright, let's stop this little game and speak frankly. I do actually have in my possession a rare record, which was sent to me without any explanation of what it would happen if I listened to it. The record stole my fiancé from me, and I have no intention of letting it go before, how do I put it, get back to my reality. If you know how I should do that, I'm all ears. Eva gives me a half smile, tinged with a mixture of melancholy and weariness, maybe a touch of irony. I'm not going to lie to you or comfort you with false hope. The chances of you managing to undo the record, the effects of the record are extremely slim. That chore, the choir of the gods, is not so easily mastered. However, if your ties with your fiancé were erased so easily, haven't you considered perhaps it's because they weren't as strong as you thought? You don't know me. How can you claim that when we don't even know each other? I don't need to know that you're just a lemming, like most of the people around us. You know, men, women who are truly capable of taking their fate into their own hands are rare. It requires a strength of the soul that I don't discern in you. You'll forgive me. She lets out a sigh. Anyway, I don't feel like you're in the right state of mind at present. But something tells me that we'll meet again. And next time, I hope with all of my heart, you'll be ready to return that which belongs to me. She turns to the window and watches the English countryside rush past, cutting off the conversation. I'm weird that she's leaving. just that she's not going to make a scene in public. What the fuck? The room is being filled with a weird smoky smell. Somebody's burning something in the neighborhood. Kind of smells like burnt rubber. Give me just 1 second. I just want to go look around the house real quick. Make sure my house isn't on fire or some shit. Okay, sorry, back. I wait undecided for a moment before taking my sandwich and coffee and leaving the buffet car. The first thing I notice when I get back to my seat is that my case is gone. I understand better why Eva redoubled her efforts to keep me talking. I conclude that she must have one or several accomplices unlike Eddie Black, who seem to be operating alone. I don't expect I'll see my case again, which, in any case, contained nothing of value to me, just toiletries and a few clothes that I brought with me. The record is safe in my handbag with my papers. My neighbor in the seat next to me looks like she's fast asleep, and I don't have the heart to wake her up or ask her if she's noticed anything. As a salve to my conscience, I question two teenagers in the seat across from me, but they just shrug their shoulders and murmur sorry. I drop into my seat, struggling against panic. The thought of finding the conductor and telling him about my problem crosses my mind, but I banish it quickly. And if that's what they expect me to do, I admit to myself with some difficulty that the conversation with Eva has really shaken me up. Eva will certainly be on the lookout for me the first chance to get a hold of the record. I'll have to be doubly careful now. The last half hour of my journey drags past in a feverish suspense. When the train finally pulls into the station, I leave my seat to be near the exit, ready to disappear into a crowd as soon as it stops and the doors open. Chapter 3. London. Alright, this is where I'm calling it for right now. Go get water boiling for pasta for dinner tonight. And my plan is to be back a little bit later this evening, whenever I'm done with dinner, basically. Might be a little bit after 7, I'm not sure yet. And we're going to work on Darkened Sky. So y'all have to let me know if you want to keep going with this. I can probably work it into a future extra stream, or I can just continue playing it on myself, because I'm super sucked into the story. I actually quite enjoy this game. I don't know if I like this one yet as much as I liked the Witch one, because that one was wild. This one seems like it's a much longer game with a far slower build, and I was wondering, like, was there going to be more of the music, the songs, the interpretive songs that we listened to in the first chapter? There wasn't a single one in the second chapter. We didn't listen to the record at all, so I'm wondering how much more of that there is. But I don't know. Your progress will be saved. Great. That's what we want. Have we unlocked any achievements yet? Swinging in London? Achievements. Postcard. Record collector. I don't think we've unlocked any achievements yet. Weird. That's cool that you can have multiple saves going at once. That's great. That's it. This is the credit screen right here. That's it. Cool. There it is. This is the game that you guys want to check out or check out Along the Edge. These were both available for free on Prime a while back. So you may have them if you've been redeeming your Amazon Prime games. They're also available on Steam. I dig it. I dig it. I love the art. Alright, I'm going to find somebody awesome to raid. And I'll be back after a bit. Thanks for being here, Woofy. Glad to see you. Thank you so much for the resub, by the way. Again. I'm thanking you again. Alright, let's see who's out here. I feel like I put my chat to sleep by reading you guys bedtime stories. Let's raid Jessica Wu. Did I raid her? I don't think I have. Oh, I raided her last week. I raided her recent. let's give. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Taweja? Tawe? Let's give her a rate. I haven't read her in a long time. I don't know how to pronounce this name. No matter how many times I hear it, I just can't do it. Channel's intended for mature audiences is the warning I just got. You know, fun fact. I actually took that warning off of my channel. Come under the impression that it just hurts, doesn't help. Probably should have had it on. I probably should have had it on. We ended up in like a sex scene in this game a little while ago, but I had totally forgotten about that till just now. But like I've noticed, like I seem to be one of the only people that uses the mature audience tag. This is the first time I've gotten that warning rating anybody else. So I'm just not going to use it anymore. I mean, worst case scenario. I know there was like a nipple. Well, actually there was like half of a naked body in one of those panels when we were in Paris. And I like half considered turning on the pixelate deal, and I was just like, whatever. It's done. You know, space to add more tags. Well, this isn't a tag. The mature filter is in your stream settings. It's a toggle on and off for your stream. I hate tags. I just every time I use a tag, I get undesirable interactions. All right, have fun with Tile. Whatever you say your name. Love y'all. See you in a bit.
Artyom, Havok! How's it going, Havok?
There we go.
Welcome in! Hi! Thank you for the raid! What's up? Hi. Hey, friends.